The 5 takeaways, and number 1 is Sunday, bloody Sunday.
Beautiful. Let's have another rendition. That's very good. Yeah, look, you mentioned our record on Sundays, and it doesn't make for good reading. In fact, Tottenham have 100% record on Saturday. We've won every game on a Saturday. But
It's a shame we never play on Saturday.
But this season, we have only won 2 of our 8 Sunday games, which was the Villa game and the Man United game, as you said. We've actually all the other 6 games we failed to win on a Sunday, and it's definitely a theme. So yeah, let's just get more games on a Saturday, man. We need more games on a Saturday. I don't know what it is.
Well, once Europa League finishes in January, then that should happen until March.
So we need to get rid of international breaks, and we need to get rid of games on a Sunday. Then we'll be top of the league, I think.
Exactly.
But yeah, obviously, I think it's a consequence of the workload, probably, or having to play twice in a short space of time. With a little recovery, I guess that's what you can put it down to. But we obviously had this discussion before about playing Thursday, Sunday, and whether it should or does impact us. Whether it should is another question, but whether it does, I think it's evident at this point.
I think it's just excuses though, because this game, we played a strong team in Europe, but the Galatasaray game, the Alkmaar game, the Ferencvaros game, I think we won after Ferencvaros, but there was 3 games, Galatasaray, Alkmaar, and I can't remember the one before that. Who did we play? Karabag. We lost after all those games, right?
Well, Karabag, I think we won.
So what were the 3 games? We've lost 4.
One. I was against after United, wasn't it? We beat United.
What are the 3 games? It's Galatasaray,
Ferencvaros,
but in all 3 of those games, we made quite a few changes for the European game. So I think it's just excuses about this Thursday, Sunday thing, because a lot of these players should be fresh coming into Sunday games.
Yeah, but we're not the first team to be hit by it, are we? Teams in the past, it's been known that Thursday, Sundays are something.
Yeah, but why though, when a lot of players are getting rested anyway?
Yeah, they get rested. They still have to play, don't they? They still have to come on, and they I don't know, the travel time a lot of the time. I don't know what the science is behind it or the reason is behind it, but it does seem to be something that clearly affects us, because we seem to be all right when we don't have it, but when we do have it, clearly there's a big drop off in our intensity. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, because like I said, in the majority of these games, apart from the game last night on Thursday, we rested quite a lot of players. So there's no reason for them to be overly tired on the Sunday and put in the performances that they do. Yeah.
And Ange has got a fit. Look, he's got a fit. We've said it so many times, but that's something that Ange, for some reason, hasn't been able to fix at the moment. That when we have that game on the Thursday, we can't then go again on the Sunday for some reason with the same intensity. It just seems to drop. And as soon as we drop intensity, then it spells trouble.
Yeah. Number 2 is shot-shy Spurs.
Yeah, and this was Spurs yesterday recorded 8 shots against Fulham, which is actually our lowest tally of the season for shots in a single game. So when it comes to us, in terms of from an offensive point of view anyway, probably one of our worst displays of the season when it comes to trying to hurt Fulham and trying to actually cause problems for them. We really struggled to, and we just weren't able to get too many shots off.
Yeah.
That's evident of that, I think.
Yeah, and it was a really big frustration. And I think
it was second worst XG of the season as well.
Yeah, and I think Kulusevski and Solanke being out is a massive part of that, because how many times do we win the ball back high up the pitch due to Solanke and Kulusevski and the way they work and the way they press and how physical they are? You take those 2 aspects out, then we become a lot less aggressive, pressing from the front and winning the ball back high up the pitch. And I think that was a circumstance of that.
Yeah, I agree.
3rd is Radu impressed.
Yeah, and I think he's carried on his good form. Radu Dragusin, who's a player who comes under criticism for not being good enough, or all different kind of things that people get thrown at him. But I thought yesterday, especially in the second half, for me, he was our best player. And I thought the stats bear out how impressive he was. He had 5 out of 7 aerial duels won, 4 out of 5 ground duels won, 5 clearances, 3 tackles, and also was our highest shot taker of the day with 2 shots. No one had more shots for us than Radu on the day. So I thought actually he had a really good game, to be fair to Radu. And he's really been growing into this role, I think.
Yeah, he has. And, after the Galatasaray game, and there was one other game where everyone was calling him shocking, we criticised him as well. He's really, I think, taken whatever it is on board, and he's really improved and he's really looking solid and assured in this position in the Spurs team. So I can't give Radu enough credit, because I feel like the last 2 or 3 games he's really stepped up for the team. Number 4 is width exploited.
Yeah,
again.
and I think no doubt about it. I think this would definitely be in the theme against a lot of teams, especially teams who play 5 at the back with wing backs. We struggle, and I think yesterday those fullbacks were a lot of the times like wingers, and we very much struggled to contain Fulham's fullbacks and Fulham's wingers as well. I think the stats speak for themselves. First of all, Nelson, Iwobi and Tete created 6 chances between them from wide areas on the weekend. Pedro Porro got dribbled past 5 times yesterday, two from Robinson and 3 from Nelson as well. So he really struggled to contain the threat from the wide areas. And it was just basically Fulham every time ruthlessly getting it out wide whenever they got the ball, and just swinging the ball into the box, and they were just getting chance after chance. And it's not the first time that we've wide areas, because we're a very narrow team. We like to keep things central, but out wide we just give teams lots of space, and yesterday it cost us.
Yeah, and I was saying to you off air, right, just before we started the stream, this has been a clear problem all season, right, where teams have 3 at the back and have their wing backs, or they're very strong out on the flanks. Ange can't seem to find a solution or to find an instruction to make us to really combat those situations. Or it feels like all it takes is for a team to be strong out on the flanks to hurt us. And it happens every time. This time wasn't even a 3 at the back. It was 4 at the back with 2 really good on-form fullbacks, Tete and Robertson, destroying us down both sides. Why wasn't there not an instruction from Ange, at least at half-time, to Brennan and Timo to get them to come back and really help out the fullbacks? I don't understand. Like, you clearly see, everyone in the stands can see it. We could see it watching it on TV. We're getting destroyed by down both flanks from these fullbacks and from the wingers, and there's no instruction and there's no kind of help from anyone else. Porro was getting destroyed, absolutely destroyed, and he looked out on his legs so tired as well, but still no help was given to him. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it is I don't think it's instruction, but whether it's Brennan and Timo just couldn't keep up with the Fulham fullbacks, or whether it's because they weren't putting in the effort, or whether it's because they were told by Ange to stay high and wide and kind of don't concentrate too much on tracking them back. Whatever it is, it was something we really struggled with. Obviously, I think every system has its flaws. That's clearly a big flaw of ours, is the wide areas. But at the end of the day, we have conceded 14 goals, which is the 3rd least, and it's the same as Arsenal and Chelsea. So it's not like the flaws in our defensive system are any bigger at the moment, or being exploited as much as anyone else's at the moment. But it's clearly something I kind of feel like it's just designed in the system that we give space out wide, and we just I think the theory is we're very narrow. We give space out wide to a winger or fullback because we concentrate the numbers in the middle, so that when that ball does come in, we're able to clear it, and we can actually deal with the situation more if we're more concentrated, central, or narrow, rather than stretching ourselves. And if we stretch ourselves too much and we do commit too many players out wide, then there's going to be less players to get those clearances in the middle. Now the problem is we're giving teams joy out wide, and we're not getting those clearances in the middle. So whether that's an individual thing about not picking up your men, or it's just something that's going to constantly happen because we're giving so much joy out wide, that's what Ange has to figure out.
And quickly. 5th and final takeaway is home discomfort.
Yeah, and Spurs have been winless in their last 3 home games against Ipswich, Roma, and now Fulham. 2 draws and a loss, which is the first time in a year that we've gone 3 games in a row at home without a win, which was the Chelsea loss, the West Ham loss, and the Villa loss. So those are 3 losses after taking a lead, obviously. And obviously we didn't mention it, but we did actually take the lead yesterday. First time in probably a long time at home we've taken the lead. But yeah, first time in a year we've gone 3 games at home without a win in a row.
Yeah, and it's very frustrating. I mean, you look at the caliber of teams as well. Like last year was a lot better caliber when you're looking at Chelsea, Villa, and West Ham. We did beat West Ham at home this year, but you can't be dropping points. And Villa, yeah, true. But then and then we back it up with losses against Ipswich and a draw at home to Fulham. So if you can't be dropping these points at home, you just cannot be. It's such a shame that we put in these kind of abject performances against these kind of sides that we really should be beating. I know Fulham are a good side, and I know they're set up very well to frustrate, and they've got good players going forward as well. But man for man, we were much better for them yesterday on the pitch. We're much better than Ipswich as well. So we should really be stamping our authority in these teams, and we failed to do that. We really failed to do that. And before the Ipswich game, we were all sitting here saying, "Oh, we're at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium's a fortress. Every team that are coming here, we're battering." Well, now we haven't won at home for 3 games in a row, so we need to stem that tide pretty quickly, and we need to get back to winning ways.
Next Chelsea.
Next is Chelsea.
Bring them on.
And that is our 5th and final takeaway, and that is our 5 takeaways. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section